G'day fellas, and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4. Today, we're playing on Gorge, and we've got two players that you might not recognize, but that's okay. Do not worry, they will be introduced because, well, we've got actually a VIP who's playing today. An interesting story, which we will share with you today. Ladies and gentlemen, in the east of the map, our first contender for today, playing as the Roos in the color teal, is Professor Swaggy. And over on the west side of the map, in the color orange, playing as the French, it's Elazer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gorge. A pleasure to have your company today as we talk about the future of Age of Empires 4 and what it means for the franchise, seeing as we're getting a couple more DLCs this year. And look, well, I think it means only good things because we've got gentlemen like this guy over here. If you don't recognize him, that's okay, I'll forgive you. He's a StarCraft 2 professional. And he has started streaming Age of Empires 4 over on his Twitch channel. And he started playing the game quite seriously. So at the moment, he is absolutely tearing up the rankings. So keep in mind, he's been playing for about 5 days and he's already Conqueror. So this guy, he knows what's up. And that's kind of impressive when you think about it, right? To be able to play a game that you've never played before and then all of a sudden be Conqueror. That's absolutely insane. I don't know what percentage of players are actually Conqueror, but I would assume it would be like the top 3 to 4% of players. Now, obviously, he's a professional. He's a StarCraft 2 pro. He plays Zerg professionally. So, look, I'll be honest with you guys. I was a Zerg main back when I played StarCraft 2 as well. So, we are going to look kindly upon him and any mistakes he may make today because, well, obviously, he's still new. And, look, despite that, we're undoubtedly impressed. So, look, we're going to do our best not to just completely glaze him today because he is obviously, you know, he's a pro, but we're looking forward to it because, I mean, with the health of Age of Empires 4 at the moment, I think it's one of the healthiest it's ever been. You know, often when you look at a game, one of the key indicators for how healthy it is whether it's getting support from the developers. And looking at a game like Age of Empires 4, the fact that we're getting 2 more DLCs, I think that's a great sign. The last DLC that came out was the best-selling DLC or expansion in Age of Empires history. So that means Age of Empires 2 as well was included in that figure. So that's exciting. I mean, it means good things for us. And hopefully with that, it means more tournaments. It means more potential Outback Octagons, which will be very exciting. I'm looking forward to the new civs coming in. I'm hoping that we'll be able to get an Outback Octagon as well during that time frame. So I'm going to throw out a suggestion, or not a suggestion, but a request to anybody who thinks that they can make the previous Outback Octagon even more exciting, even more fun, better, whatever word you want to use here to describe it, then feel free to let me know down below because I will tell you now, right now, I'm working behind the scenes to make it happen, and if we can't make it happen behind the scenes, we'll make it happen in front of the scenes. So we will make a scene no matter what, that is for sure. But we do have some age ups starting to come through. School of Cavalry for Elazer. Golden Gate coming down for Professor Swaggy, and we'll ride on board with the StarCraft 2 Pro just to see what he sees, to get a bit of an idea on what his vision is for this game. He's done a pretty decent job with scouting. He's gone for a little bit of a ring around the rosy, spots out the enemy's gold. He also sees that there's no real secondary gold on this bottom side, so it probably means it's going to be towards the top side. We can actually see the spawn here. This is going to be the primary gold here for Professor Swaggy, so he'll be having to make sure he hits this one with those early knights. And I'm curious to see what kind of strategy he goes for here. So one of the strategies that I really like is just the one knight into the second TC, but obviously the meta has been shifting quite a bit recently, and there is a potential professional scouts that we could see. Even if we don't see professional scouts, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a wheelbarrow. And I think so far he's making all the right decisions, especially the fact that he's picked French. I remember picking up Age of Empires 4 for the first time. We didn't have access to the French, but when they came out, I remember just looking at this civ and like, hold on, how is this a civilization? They're so broken. They get so many bonuses, and they're just all crazy good bonuses. There's nothing bad about the civilization, and obviously, for the first couple, I think even weeks or months of Age of Empires 4, every game was like French versus French, French versus French. I think there was a little bit of Roos in there, but speaking of Roos, we've got our professional scouts coming through on one side. Let's check on the other side to see whether we've got some professional scouts over here for Professor Swaggy. You'd expect with a guy named Professor, he'd be looking for professionals. Scouts sitting out here in the deer packs are probably going to be looking to snipe away some of these deer from... Oh, look at this. We got a deer push coming through. Keep in mind, these guys right now, these are Conqueror level players. So what you're seeing here is absolute professionalism out of these two, and you would expect it from nobody less than a man who goes for professional scouts himself and calls himself Professor Swaggy. Quite swaggy right here. Swagalicious. Where does that word even come from? Gosh, I think it's I'm thinking of Fergalicious. I'm showing my age right now. Only the 90s kids will get the Fergalicious reference. Anyway, let's let's continue on. More upgrades starting to come through from a laser. Looks like he's going to be playing one base. And I think, look, if you're a new player coming into Age of Empires 4, this is 100% the right call. Play the French, play one base. This is going to teach you all the core mechanics that you need to know how to play Age of Empires 4. It's going to teach you how to raid. It's going to teach you how to defend. It's going to teach you how to keep that villager count high. We can see at the moment, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, he'll get it eventually. He is a Zerg player, you got to remember. So Zerg players, we do things in batches. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just see him queue up like 4 vills right here. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get all my drones out. And then he realizes, no, he's playing the wrong game. This is Age of Empires 4. We don't have drones here. And look, we can do batch queuing, but you're going to have to play the Malians if you want that. You have to get the Farimba Garrison out. And have a look at this. He's being very cheeky with the Knight. Manages to get that. I would have almost been tempted to go in for that scout. You can see the town center's actually baiting him back in. Laser picking up an easy one right there. Meanwhile, Professor Swaggy says thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. I've got it. Now, keep in mind, scouts are a little bit cheaper than what they used to be. So we can see right here, this scout is 65 food. So it's not as painful as it would have been in the last patch for Professor Swaggy to be losing that one. But we do see him moving into spears, looking to try and defend early on here. I'm excited to see exactly what Laser's follow-up to this is going to be. And it looks like it's going to be the archery range. So looking to continue that one base playstyle. Looking to keep the enemy in the base. And we're looking forward to seeing what the StarCraft Pro has got in store for us, whether he can pull out a victory today, but it looks like the Knight is going to be going down on the Rus side of the map. Let's check in with Professor Swaggy and see what he is cooking up. At the moment, he's just got Iraqs and professional scouts. I wouldn't be surprised if we just see him straight away go into Castle Age from this. I feel like it probably makes the most sense, right? The spears are going to be able to defend the scouts while you have the scouts doing the professional scout stuff that they like to do. And then behind that, like realistically, 3 spears is all you really need here at this point. Maybe a 4th one, maybe a 5th one, but that is absolutely fine. And then from there, you can just use your Golden Gate, buy your tickets. You've got lots of food coming in, so you can just convert that food into gold. You could alternatively drop down a mining camp, but you're playing the Rus, and ain't nobody got time for that when you're playing as the Rus. Spears now moving out a little bit far away from the base. Not sure if I really like this from Professor Swaggy. We'll ride on board with the laser as he is going to be moving this Knight towards the north. And now, more and more troops looking to unite with that front position. Scouts are coming out as well. He's potentially thinking about getting in a little bit of venison theft. We've seen it before, but perhaps not today. Obviously, Laser's already been in for a little bit, managed to deny a couple of deer from his opponents. But so far, for Professor Swaggy, nothing yet. Still empty-handed, and it does look like we do have the Castle Age coming through. So he's honestly really smart move here by Professor Swaggy to go into that. Straight up into the Castle Age, no real discussion about it. Looks like the Wolf is going to get a bit on the action here. We'll check in with the Laser and see how he's doing. As it looks like Laser probably going to be... Oh. Scout versus Spear. What's going to win? He's got 2 health left. Looks like it's going to be the Spear. Vill's going to come out, manage to take down that Spear. Scout has very low attack. You got to remember, it's only got a base of 1 attack. It gets bonus damage against other scouts, but against other units, it only does 1 damage. So it's one of those considerations that you got to make whenever you look to try and fight with a scout against Spearman. Meanwhile, on the backside of the base, Professor Swaggy going to be putting down the high trade house here. Not the best high trade house. We've definitely seen some better high trade houses in our time. There was a lovely little spot down here, but unfortunately for Professor Swaggy, he just didn't have the appropriate swag today and wasn't able to find the connection. Meanwhile, have a look at this. Unfortunately, this scout's going to be going down. Grand Theft Venison is absolutely called the quits here. The Laser puts on his lasers and his lights, and he says, "Pull on over, sir." Yeah, that's an illegally obtained venison. Let's check in with the Laser and see how he's doing. Blacksmith now going to be coming down at the 9-minute mark. This could be a man gearing up for potential victory early on. Look at the amount of units he's got out here. What are these guys all doing? And how has he got them out in such different positions? Is this is the potential? He's treating his units like bannerlings. You've just got to split them up and roll them all in at the same point from different angles. That's the way that you do it. We'll check in though on the other side of the map and see how Professor Swaggy. I want to say professional Swaggy. I'm sure he's got some professional Swaggy as well, but he's a professor for the moment. More and more Knights now coming through. A Laser looking to put on the hurt. +1 melee attack is now through for a Laser. He's playing the French. He gets it for free. He's looking for ranged armor here up against an opponent that's only got ranged attacks from their town center as well as the wooden fortress. But now looking to bait these spearmen forward, doing a decent job, able to take out the first one. Second one manages to come through, and it does look like Swaggy is going to be moving into some of those world-famous horse archers. Don't be confused with the cav archer. Don't be confused with the camel archer. They are horse archers. They are slightly different. You know what's interesting is, like, I think cavalry is probably like a camel is cavalry and a horse is cavalry. So this is both a camel and a horse. I think that's how that works. No, wait, this is not a cav archer. This is a horse archer. Anyway, well, let's get back to the game. Back to the game. Let's check in with a laser and see how he's doing. More and more units rallying over to the map. It does look like he's kind of macroing towards a potential castle age, but this could be the new game jitters that you pick up. So whenever you pick up a new game, you can normally get the start of it down very, very quickly, but where you start to fall apart is around like the 12 to 15 minute mark. And what you'll notice is like your macro goes out the window. And because one of the things that we do, this is normally how you get better at games, is you do the same thing and you do it over and over and over again. And you practice and you get it down. And it always seems to fall apart at that like 12 to 15 minute part, or that moment is really hard to get over. And we can already see the laser stacking up that 860 wood at the moment. And there's a couple things you could do with that, right? Number one is you could build rams with it, okay? We don't have siege engineering yet, but maybe it's going to come through shortly. The second thing that we could do is we could think about farms, but we've still got plenty of food out on this map, so we don't really have to do it. And it's just one of those byproducts of it being a new game for him. It's going to take time for him to get that macro down. You know, like at the end of the day, he's a pro when it comes to SC2. But he's not quite on the level of Beastie yet when it comes to this sort of action yet in Age of Empires 4. Decent micro though, and that's one thing to note. He's able to pick up the spearmen. He sees them there, says that's the unit I need to target, focuses them down, and continues moving forward here. Beautiful control so far in this game that we've seen, and I think that's definitely the highlight for me so far. And now running underneath the town center, he's got chivalry active on a lot of these knights. You can see the healing is continuing. Archer's got to look to try and pick up the scouts, able to find a connection, and continues to posture towards the front. I'm loving it so far, and I'm looking forward to watching his career with great excitement. And Laser making absolutely wonderful moves around the north side. But take a look at Swaggy. He's not taking no for an answer. He says we're going to take a fight. And I'm just going to pick your units off. I've got my horse archers here, and they've got lots of range. They've got lots of damage, and he's able to really push forward. Let's see if the archers look at the archers. Look at the micro. Look at the laser's micro. He's focusing down the horse archers on the back. Man, I'm Conqueror 3. You couldn't get me to do that kind of thing. He's ignoring the men at arms with the archers because the archers have only got 5 damage. The men at arms have got 4 armor. They only do 1 damage. But the great thing about the horse archer, or at least the bad thing about it, is it's only got 0 armor, which means you're doing 100% of your damage to those units, and that's exactly what he wants to do. It's great to see that already he's so developed when it comes to that type of thing. I don't know how many hours he's got in Age of Empires 4, but it takes a long time to actually master it. I'd love to know, because I remember when Age of Empires 4 dropped, I don't think Beastie was around like initially. I remember Marine Lord was around from the very beginning, but I think Beastie he was a little bit like, I wouldn't say slow to get out of the gates, but he kind of took a little bit of time just to sort of like judge the position. So I wonder how many hours it took him to sort of get up to that level. Because I would suspect it's probably in the thousands of hours number. So Laser's probably got a ladder to climb, that is for sure. He's got both a ranked ladder and a skill ladder, but he will get there. And look, we're going to be very happy to watch him because when it comes to Age of Empires 4, there is plenty of room in this scene for more friends. And Laser, I'm confident, will be a welcome one. Who knows? Let's see. Maybe if he gets to Conqueror 3, we could even extend an invite out to him for the next edition of Outback Octagon. That's one way we could definitely make it a bit more exciting, having a few more pros in here. So who knows? Maybe a Laser's here to stick around, but we'll have to wait and see. More and more units continue to rally in for him. He's managed to do a good job spending that wood. He's brought it down to 600, which isn't too bad here. And now more and more units continue to rally out for Professor Swaggy. Archers on the backside able to pick off the horse archers. Spears now is coming through. Nice little kiting. Got his knights focusing down the men-at-arms, and now the archers come around the body here, looking to try and take out... Oh, the micro is beautiful. It's beautiful. The only trouble is he's underneath three... Oh, the Wololo. The 3 defensive buildings right now. Wololo, don't you dare go in there. Oh, he got close. He got close. A little bit too close for comfort, if I had to say. But he is getting torn apart. You can see the town center together with the wooden fortresses just doing absolute work, cleaning this up. And it's one of those things that, look, it's going to take time to learn when to hold him, when to fold him. He's going to continue rallying more units in, a couple archers underneath the TC, but he's definitely lost quite a bit of tempo out of this. The unit numbers are still good for him, but Professor Swaggy's castle, he's picking up relics. He's on the up and up, that is for sure. When it comes to this game right now, Professor Swaggy is still in a decent spot. He hasn't lost a whole lot of vills here. That's the other thing to note. Royal Institute on the other side of the map. I love it. This is such a smart move as well. We're only on the one base, but we're at the 15-minute mark. So the economy is pretty good at this stage. Normally, if you're going for like a 9-minute, 10-minute castle, to me, it doesn't make sense to go into the Royal Institute. Unless you're doing like a 2 TC into the Royal Institute. That makes sense. But if you're going castle age at 9 minutes on 1 TC, doesn't make sense at all. You don't have the economy to support units and to support upgrades. So going for the Royal Institute here, though, makes so much sense. He's got a huge economy that he's absolutely booming, and he's pumping out villagers, doing a great job of making sure he's only got 1 in queue at a time. And that's really important. You don't want to go ahead and queue up like 10 vills and put them all in queue. And the reason why is because... That boar is so loud, dude. That boar is so loud. The reason why is because if you were to put 10 vills in queue, then all of a sudden that's 500 food that's in queue. And that 500 food could have been used for units. Now, you obviously want to put 1 in queue, so 50, but that's 450 food that could be used for units that you could train right now. Vill gets taken out, number 1. Number 2 gets taken out. He's going to look for a number 3. Let's see if he goes for it. Not going to find it. The laser loses out 2 vills here. So at the moment, Professor Swaggy trying to even up that economy a little bit. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, we do see relics continuing to get picked up. Swaggy doing a good job of making sure these relics stay in his safe little hands, his hot little hands, throughout this game. We're right on board with him, though. Get a little bit of an idea on what the plan is as we see another Rax getting dropped down at the back, so could be looking to play maybe into a bit of a spearman crossbow combo. Don't mind if I do. It's probably the only combo I really enjoy. Look, if I had to be honest with you, there is another combo that I enjoy. It's a double quarter pounder with a large... I've been having the caramel shake lately. I don't know if you guys have got it wherever you folks are in the world, but in Australia, we have got the caramel shake, and it is insane. It is so much better. Like, why isn't this a standard McDonald's shake flavor? Be honest with me. Why is vanilla even a flavor? If I wanted something bland, I'd eat beans and dirt. I don't want bland. I know there's going to be that one guy in the comments that's like, Drongo, just so you know, vanilla is the best flavor of milkshake from McDonald's. And it's like, mate, you don't stop it. Anyway, I've been enjoying the caramel. The caramel shake has been good. It's been good to me. I'll say that much. All right, let's get back to the action. Speaking of back to the action, Drongo's drink of the day. We don't actually have any drinks right here. It is we got a sad cast right now. There is no drinks for this cast. We are in it all. We're all in right now with no drink. This is probably the first drinkless cast that we've had in I want to say about 800 days. I'm gonna go with 800 days. I think that's probably the last time we didn't have a drink when we casted. It's one of those cardinal sins that you make. If you start a cast without a drink and then you need that drink later, you're not gonna be happy. I remember in that game, the Outback Octagon game that was like 3.5 hours. Oh my, rest in peace. That game right there, that was the game that I needed a little bit more drink. I don't think I brought enough drink with me to that game. And I think for all future Outback Octagon games, I'm going to make sure I've got at the very least like 2 bottles of water and a coffee and a juice. Let's go with that. And yeah, make it 2 juices. We'll have one that's guava and one that's orange. All right. Okay. That's enough juice talk. That's enough drink talk. Drongo's drink of the day, NA today. But let's check in with the laser. Maybe he's got something a little bit more flush for us. Have a look at this. He's losing out these vills. That's 2 more that are picked off. I don't know. Professor Swaggy, I'm going to be honest with you, man. You just kill all those vills right there. That is so much value. you gotta take those ones. Even if it means losing out a couple of horse archers, totally worth it, man. This is a huge bundle of vills that you can pick. That is just 100% worth it. There's no world that is not worth it. Now, you wouldn't lose all of them. Oh, maybe it's Beastie in disguise. Is it Beastie in disguise? It could be. He picks up the 4th relic, Professor Swaggy. He says, I'm taking this one home. I don't know whether it was accidental. I suspect it probably wasn't. Last relic in the north of the map. Has he actually spotted it? Let's double check. He hasn't actually seen it. So despite having so many scouts throughout the game as a Rus player, Professor Swaggy does leave a little bit of the map undiscovered. Now a laser beginning to make that push. Gambeson's coming through. Going to provide him that little bit of extra armor. Let's see if we can actually find... There they are, the Arbalatrier. Now got that extra 5 melee armor coming through. He's also got the PV shield, which gives him that ranged armor. But now beginning to push forward. Has he got... He's got the upgrade. The French Royal... The Royal Biology upgrade. Well, the Royal... Oh my god. Don't even get me started. One of the best cav upgrades in the game. Royal Bloodlines. There we go. We got it. God, it takes me some time. It takes me some time. Archer's now moving in. He's going to look to try and focus down the wooden fortress of all things. A laser, we got to pay attention. A laser, get away from the wooden fortress. A laser. Okay, there we go. Relic coming through. He's got no wall of low. It's on cooldown. Oh, the consequences of our actions. How pleasant it is to meet them. But you can see that right now, Elaser doesn't even care, dude. He's just sieging down the house. He does not care. His units have got so much health. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the horse archers have come out. He's going to try and pick off the arbaletier, able to find a connection. We do not see the Pavis shield deployed just yet. Not 100% happy with it. Relic going to be dropped down on the ground, and plenty of knights inside the base. Now, this might not look good for Elaser, but I promise you, I assure you, this is incredible for him. These knights have got way too much health for you to actually be able to kill them unless you've got units. But the numbers are still pretty decent here. He's got 4 crossbows out as well, so as long as he's able to keep them rallied to a safe point somewhere out here, he should be okay. Second TC's come through. When it comes to the Vil kills, the laser has actually taken out a lot of Vils in this fight, but now going to be forced away from this position. Only 5 knights remain. Where have they all gone? It looks like they've all gone the way of the Dodo, been picked off, been picked to pieces by the horse archers. So well done by Swaggy for staying in it again. I tell you what, he's got a bit of a tough battle ahead of him. And are we looking at a potential Imperial Age right here? The laser. It could be Imp, or it could just be a little bit of a miss macro. Either way, I'm happy with both because Elaser is still learning. And that's the key thing to remember. Our macro normally falls apart at this point in the game. So he's done well to keep it together up until this point. Farms are starting to come in behind him. Let's check in with our eco upgrade. So at the moment we can see fertilization yet to come through. He's still got double broad axe. That is his primary upgrade. And now more horse archers coming in. Professor Swaggy doing a wonderful job of just picking off these Vils. Working on the mine. More and more spears make their way forward. Nice little combo coming out from Swaggy here as he begins to push down the center of the map. And that's that bug. Remember that bug from the last video that I was talking about? It happened then. It happened once earlier in the video, but it just happened then as well. And now he does the right thing, but wants to make sure that he moves away from all of those knights. He realized those knights were going to take him out very, very quickly. So dives away from them. Crossbows, spears moving forward. He's able to get a nice little pincer. We've got one Royal Knight that's lost its feet, but it's managed to find them and made its way out with a bit of a retreat. Checking back in over on that east side, though. How are we doing over here? Second town center still pumping for Swaggy. He is scaling towards the end game. If he's able to keep in this game a little bit longer, one of the things I'd love to see him do is connect these walls up. Remember that when you're playing against the French, they love to go into those knights. And if they get behind your lines, it can be very difficult to deal with. So getting those walls up just prevents any of those stray knights from entering into your base. So despite having the walls on the top side, he has neglected to put the walls on the bottom side. So that's definitely a little bit of feedback there for you, Swaggy. Hopefully you're able to implement that one and help you climb up the ladder. Let's check in with the laser. See how things are going. How many upgrades has he picked up? He's picked up so many of the upgrades. Have a look at that. There's just almost everything has been picked up that's relevant right now. You know, obviously he hasn't picked up long guns, okay? And he hasn't picked up the merchant guilds upgrade just yet. But, you know, these are the important ones. I guess technically crossbow stirrups is quite nice as well. A little bit more expensive. And then, of course, we've also got enlistment incentives. But you don't really see a lot of value on that, right? Like, it's only 5%. I guess it does add up pretty quickly because you are making a lot of units in this game. But now we do see the second monastery finally going to be coming down here. Now, Professor Swaggy never actually managed to find that 5th relic. And in fact, Elaser doesn't know where it is either. He's probably just going to assume that his opponent has got the ball relic going to be stuck on the back here. He's instead going to... No, he's going to look for the Wallalol. Spear's going to be coming through as well. No Vils towards that top side. Elaser going to do the right thing and head on out. Go, sir. Get on out of there. There are too many spears, too many crossbows in here, that is for sure. Horse archers on the back. Look how cheeky he is. Professor Swaggy just doing a wonderful job. Beautiful control from Swaggy right now. The Swagster definitely giving us a good show today. Elaser being tested to the limits here. Could be potentially thinking about going Imperial. Now, if you're going Imperial here, what do you go for? I think you probably go for a Red Palace right here. This is an aggressive Red Palace, but you've got the military advantage at the moment, so you can definitely throw it down without too much of a hassle. By doing that, you're going to secure the Sacred Site, you secure the gold, you secure the stone, you put it down here outside the enemy base. It gives you a great point to start that fight. Big charges coming through from our knights. He cleans out everything, and the last of the horse archers goes down. Wait, was there another one? There might have been another one that I just missed right there. But now, more and more units continue to come out for Swaggy. Elaser just teetering on the edge right now of Imperial. He's gone and spent all of his gold that he's got, though. He had a whole bunch in the bank, and he said, actually, I think we want some upgrades. Crossbow stirrups, shaft mining, fertilization coming through now. So looking to get those eco upgrades and a nice little upgrade here for his arbalètrier. Not his crossbows, even though they're crossbow stirrups. I think it's the stirrups of the arbalètrier's crossbow. Because while they've got a crossbow, they're not a crossbow. Big army. Good army. Decent army. Juicy army. Lovely army right now we are seeing. Look at the size of this thing. This is pretty big. The one thing that it's missing is infantry. So he's not a fan of infantry, at least not at this point. He likes things that move fast and that shoot fast. I can see it right now. The Hydralisks on the back line. I was going to say the Zerglings, but these are way too big to be Zerglings. The Roaches. Let's go with the Roaches. The Roaches on the front. The Ultralisks. Oh, man. It's been so long since I played StarCraft. I think the last time I played StarCraft was probably about, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. I remember playing it with a couple of IRL buddies. I just remember making a whole bunch of Marines. Oh, gosh. Is there anything more fun than just making 200 Marines? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's probably he's gone for the wall. Look at this. Swaggy went for the wall. And he's absolutely swagged out of his mind right now. Keeps himself alive. It means that Eleazar's not going to be able to run back behind enemy lines. But it does mean he is going to have to come out of his base. The Sacred Site timer has now begun. We've got 10 minutes to go. 26 minutes into the game. Ladies and gentlemen, start your clocks because we are currently on the clock. We've got another 9 minutes and 45 seconds to go before potential defeat. No, I take it back. 9 minutes and 42 and it's paused. We're holding it right now. We're holding. Look, we're making our way up towards this top side. Imperial could be coming through any second right now. He's put knights. He put it into knights. Maybe he doesn't like Imperial. I mean, you got to remember, the other thing about French Imperial is, and hear me out on this one. Just give me a sec before I do that. I didn't take a drink. I cleared my throat. And I didn't want you guys to hear that. You shouldn't have to hear that. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, the French. The impact from French going to Imp is actually a lot less than another Civ going to Imp. And the reason why is because of the Royal Institute. So the Royal Institute allows you to get those upgrades that are typically available only in the Imperial Age. But because you've already got them, the value when you get to the Imperial Age is less. Your expected value is significantly lower. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't go Imperial. It just means that you're already quite strong in the Castle Age, and you can justify staying here for longer, especially longer than other civilizations can. But by the same token, there's some good upgrades there that he's going to be looking to pick up. I would suspect with an army like this, elite horsemen are going to make a lot of sense, as well as elite arbalètrier. It's also going to make a lot of sense. He's got quite a few archers out, so we could just see the triple. But do not forget the knights. Obviously, the knights have been running around, creating absolute carnage this game. Pandemonium in the base of Professor Swaggy. Well, right on board with him now as he sits in the dark about his opponent, but not about his age into Imperial. He knows exactly what is going on here. He doesn't look to stop this. He sees it, and he says, you know what? I'm going to let you get up that Red Palace. Professor Swaggy, this is a dangerous play, my friend. The reason why the Red Palace is difficult to stop is because it's got a huge amount... Oh, very, very juicy. He's already got this down, and have a look at where they're positioned. He just throws down his Imperial Age landmark right here, and he's already cooking. Imperial Age comes through for Eleazar, and he's thinking, wow, I am in such a good spot. I am absolutely... Oh, no. He's got trebs. Oh, he's already got trebs. The landmark literally just arrived, and that's already getting trebbed down. Well, we're going to have to put a stop to that. Elite horsemen on the way through for Eleazar. Definitely the right call here. Let's see if he... in this position, what I'd love to see him do is put down a mark. Oh, interesting. He goes for the double siege workshop. Somebody tell Eleazar that Springolds don't counter siege anymore. Somebody, please alert Eleazar to the new Springold. It's not as good as it once. Is he going to go for the Culverin instead? No, he doesn't have the Culverin. He could just go the cannon. Honestly, the cannon's quite fine here. He's looking to burn down the house. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's getting to it. It's time. Four trebuchets go down in an instant, in a heartbeat. He's able to pick them off, and honestly, at this point, you're overstaying your welcome. Let's get our elite upgrades, and then we'll fight. He says, no, we're going to fight right now. Mangoes, we're going to watch them from the top rope. Here they go, 3, 2, 1. Big shots onto the back line, but still not a huge amount of damage. They are only Castle Age mangonels. Let's watch and see. Couple more arbalètrier, bite the dust, and now the Vills on the run on the backside. Mangonels. Mangoes. Make the man go. All right. Good shots. Now we check in once again with the Cav. Cav's causing some panic back behind here. Mangonels. Oh, they're getting absolute kill counts today. They are racking it up. Be careful, my friend. Don't go too close. Don't go too close. Mango shot on the back line, and it's a... I'd love to see the kill count on this right now. Oh, Laser's just woken up, and he's like, oh, those mangonels. They're quite decent. They're quite good at stopping my my ranged infantry. Indeed they are, my friend. But you know what? They're also quite weak against your ranged infantry when you got that many of them. Cavalry now comes into the back. Spasskaya Tower? Spasskaya Tower? Spasskaya Tower coming down in the back of the base here for Professor Swaggy. He is he's looking to solidify his defenses a little bit right here. We did think he was going to put the H4 landmark right in this position. We just didn't think it was going to be this one. Spasskaya Tower is a welcome addition to this defense, though. That'll allow him to start constructing stone walls. So look out for those. Meanwhile, more and more units being rallied towards the front here. The laser tearing apart the defenses of the base. The numbers continue to build. He's moving into elite upgrades for his knights. He's already picked up the elite artillery. The veterancy on the archers yet to be converted into the elite status just yet, but the horsemen are elite. So he's going to be 3 out of 4 with this upgrade. And there's the Imperial Age coming through now. The Spasskaya Tower going to be taking out that scout. Keep in mind, it's got 10,000 health on it. Requires quite a bit of work to actually take this bad boy down. Red Palace now looking to finalize the lives of some of these villagers here. Let's have a look and see if they actually move over across to this position where they can get taken out by the Red Palace. Is the Red Palace going to take them out as well? 1, 2, and 3. Hey, we got the wall up, so we'll take... Oh, never mind. There's still a hole. Is he building it? He is building it. I wonder if the Red Palace is going to be able to reach this ville. There's a good chance it won't actually be able to reach it. Oh, but the Ville's going to retreat anyway. He's going to leave it. A little bit of a trap right here. He's saying, come on through. I'll let you. I've got all these spears and all these crossbows ready to go. Elite upgrades. Let's have a look and see whether he's picked any up just yet. Professor Swaggy, no elite upgrades just yet. In fact, is that part of the reason why? No, he's only got 10 Villes on gold. And he hasn't even taken this gold mine yet. I mean, he's taken 71 off it. But Laser might take the bait. I think in this position, I'd love to see some cannons. Is that cannons? No, that's Trebs he's opting for. So going to be moving into Trebs. Probably a little bit more familiar with Trebs. They are available in the Castle Age compared to the cannons, which are a little bit more niche, I'd say. The Trebs are just kind of like your all-round general, all-purpose siege. Gets rid of the buildings. Guaranteed. All your money back. Definitely get your money back from there. Elite Knights on the way through. Now, they've got 364 health running into the base. Up against the combo. There it goes again. My cursor doing that thing again. The cavalry combo here up against the spears together with the crossbows. Keep in mind, no elite upgrade still in for either of these units. He's only just clicked the elite upgrade now for Professor Swaggy, but he's still able to hold on. The Spasskaya Tower is doing work. It is slowly taking it out. We've got Spasskaya Tower versus the Red Palace. The battle of the best. The battle of the defensive landmarks. Trebs firing down, able to hit the siege workshop. Numbers still looking good here for Professor Swaggy on the defense. Artillery numbers starting to build, though, for a laser. Oh, we got sacred... Oh, I totally forgot. We got sacred sites that have been captured. One captured in the north, second one in the south is protected very well by the Red Palace, so he needs to keep this alive as much as he can. Trebs are trebbing. That's what they do, and now Red Palace is going to go down. Trebs trying to work their magic, not able to be found. Landmark destroyed. Of course, it's the Red Palace. And let's check back in with the laser and see how the macro is going on his side. Stillville's out on the berries. He's converted quite a few of them over onto the farms. He's picked up the T3 upgrades. In fact, he's got every single upgrade that you could ask for if you're an economic player. And of course, we like it. Still leaving a little bit to be desired on the fitted leatherwork upgrade, but that's okay. We'll forgive him for that. I don't know. Maybe he's just looked at it and said, you know what? It's not worth the money. It's not worth the money to get the fitted leatherwork because he's very clearly got the other upgrades. He's looked at that one and said, no, we don't like that one. And maybe that's just because like you've got so much health on the Royal Knight that it's like, the difference between 5 armor and 6 armor is going to make a difference. They're tanks anyway. But to me, it would be like the opposite, right? Because the more health that you've got, then the more value you get out of armor. He's probably just forgotten them. He probably just forgot them. Don't worry, guys. It's not going to be... I don't think it's going to change the matter. I don't think it's going to change. We're not going to read into it that much just yet. Okay? We got to let him... We got to let him at least beat Beastie and Marine Lord once. And maybe Demu as well. And maybe Lucifer. And Vortex. Oh, okay. He's going to have to beat a lot of people. There's a lot of StarCraft 2 pros that play Age of Empires 4. Now that I think about it, where's all the Age of Empires 2? Oh, don't mention the don't mention that guy. The golden child of the series. Don't mention the golden child of the series. Oh Lord. All right, we'll right on board here with Professor Swaggy. Slowly trepping down the Red Palace. StarCraft 2, professional, looking to try and keep the Red Palace alive. Vil's on standby. He's got 800 wood in the bank, but it looks like he's gonna lose it. We've got 1 minute until Sacred Defeat. Professor Swaggy, wake up! Wake up, Professor Swaggy! He's only just realized. He's like, oh, that's right, sacred sites. Sacred sites. Okay, we gotta catch the sacred sites. 45 seconds, Professor Swaggy. He's playing right now like an FFA player would. He's like, someone else is gonna get it. I'm not fast. Professor Swaggy, there's nobody else in this game. You gotta go now, son. You gotta make a run for it. Professor Swaggy makes his move down towards the Red Palace. He says, you know what? We don't care about it. We're going straight for the site. Is he going for the site? He's going for the site. Get over there, Swag Dog. Get over there, Swagalicious. Let me see it. Let me see you drop it down low with the mango. He doesn't have the upgrades on the crossbow. Well, he doesn't actually have the upgrades on the crossbow. He doesn't. There you go. We are absolutely rhyming it and timing it and killing it and drilling it. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of killing it, a laser right now is styling on Professor Swaggy despite the death of the Red Palace. And ladies and gentlemen, the Sacred Site timer has reached its 0 point. Unfortunately, Swaggy wasn't able to do it. Fellas, go check him out. I'm going to leave a link in the description of where you can watch a laser. Go support him. Go give him a follow. Go check him out on Twitch. He's streaming there all the time. He's playing Age of Empires 4. And look, he's getting pretty good. So go say good day from me.